Welcome back to As Art. Woo! Long
Oh
time, long
yeah.
time.
This is our limited LP release, baby.
We're back on the road.
Back
Quite
at it.
literally.
Yeah.
Wow, what a great episode. So we
Yeah.
are hopping in with episode 3,
hmm hmm
and yeah, we're just glad to be here.
Yep.
Um,
Just, it's
so
it's it deserves its own segment, we closely followed Severance before, and now
yes.
here we are again.
And man, we were off with some theories for sure, right?
Yes. Yes.
We were really off with a couple of theories, but we're gonna just what, Kyle, do you want to do a brief recap of this episode?
Oh man. Okay.
I'm
So
putting you on the
I
spot.
feel like there was so much okay, I'm gonna try and go in order here. So, and you keep me honest, Nick, okay?
I'll do my
So
best.
so we basically get the gang, the MDR gang, basically like you're like, all right, here are flyers of Miss Casey. We're gonna go try and find her. And they're basically kind of remembering, like, we're gonna go to the goat place. We're also gonna, we're also gonna go to O&D and stuff, and like all these different departments, right? And we're like, all right, cool, revisiting the old stomping grounds, as it were. Wow, dude. Oh yeah, so Irving
Yes.
went to O&D, and he
Huge
reconnected
stuff.
with Felicia, right? Who was like,
Yes.
oh my god, like they were, because they're old friends, you know.
Yes.
And so basically, he found out some stuff about Bert, and also about ODR. They used to deliver stuff to what they called, what was the export hall, if I
Yes.
remember.
Something like that. Yeah.
So is
I'm
the
look.
export hall synonymous with the testing floor?
Yeah.
Or when they mention the testing floor, are they referring to something else? And we're seeing. Sorry, I'm getting off
Yes.
the question.
We're gonna be diving into all that though.
So basically, then also we go back to the goat room, people. So first off, no goats at the beginning. I was a little let down. I'm like, okay, that's weird. Also, miniature farmhouse in the middle of that thing. Um, Interesting. If you
Yeah.
follow, and also if you follow the goat chute, as I will, that's
Hmm.
covered in feces.
Yes.
Um, you will then get to the palatial hills of a giant room,
Yes.
and they are met with Brienne of Tarth, basically trying to, or the actress that plays her, basically confronting them. And
Mm.
I literally thought she might kill them. Right. Also, basically everyone encircles them. From that team, I'm just going to call them the mammalian team, because that's what she
Mm.
refers to them as, right? And they will try to help. They say, we're going to try and help you wherever we can. And
Yes.
also at the end, they asked them to see their bellies,
Yes. Their
and they
belly.
said, "Look, no udders," or something, right? And I'm like, okay,
Was it
all
udders or
right,
pouches?
pouches. I think that's what it was, pouches.
Pouches, right?
So I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, they think they're marsupials. Then what's going on, right? A type of mammal.
Or like
Um,
goats, maybe?
do goats have pouches?
Or if
Are-
our cloning theory works, maybe clones don't have belly buttons and they're like replacing their something or something like that. But
Okay.
anyways, keep going. Yes, we're
So
gonna have theory
I
time
thought,
all
are
night
they
long.
not going to have belly buttons? So here's the thing. Okay, I also may have skipped Dylan's part, which is he gets to visit his wife, or his
Yeah.
Audi's wife,
Or
technically
his
speaking.
wife visits him.
Yes, that's right. This is the visitation, the new visitation center, after all,
Yes.
and it's really interesting because we get to see this like sort of tender, like sort of like
Mm-hmm.
testing moment with both of them.
Yes.
And it's like they're meeting, they're essentially meeting each other for the first time, really, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we kind of see an alternate scene where Audi Dylan is at home, and his wife's about to go to work, saying
Yeah.
bye to the kids and stuff, saying how to cut up cookies from a tube, right? And like it's really different, because she's like, oh yeah, it was, she's like, so he's like, how was the thing with my
Yeah.
interview? She's like, yeah, it was fine, it was all right, and I'm like, wow, okay, that's it for the
That's it.
conversation, huh? All right. So something tells me about the relationship might be a bit strained, especially the previous episode, how Dylan reacted to her basically being a kind person. It was like,
Yeah.
like you'll get the next, like you'll do fine. You'll get the next one, right? When he
Mm,
that odd episode of the Door Company, and he's like,
yep.
"Stop being so nice to me," and I'm like, "Oh, he has self-loathing issues." So, so anyway, and then during the visitation thing, like he's like, "Oh, so I'm kind of a fuck up," and she's like,
Yeah.
and it's like again to like her kindness, right? So like
Yeah.
very touching, but also just weird because they're under the constant surveillance
Oh yeah.
of Wong, right?
Yep.
So
Uh,
all right,
yeah.
I'm just
Oh,
like,
what is
okay.
what is Milchick's first name again? Seth. Seth.
Yes,
Yes,
Seth,
Seth.
Seth,
Yeah.
because
Which was
he,
revealed to Dylan.
yep, and he's like, "Who's that?" And they're like, you can't talk about anything
Mm,
confidential, blah blah
we
blah,
don't
right?
talk about Bruno.
Blah, blah,
No.
blah, blah. Also in the Miss Cobell side of
Mm.
things, okay, she is basically on the way to somewhere called what was it? Something Neck.
Oh yeah. Oh.
That was 200 something miles away. I tried looking it up on Google Maps. I couldn't find anything.
Where is it
Um,
in the show?
but as Nick cycles through that, she's on a road trip somewhere. I don't know where. I
Yeah.
thought she accepted the
A new
position,
job.
a new job position, right?
Yeah.
From at Lumon. So all of a sudden she does a turnaround. Wow, excuse me.
It's all right.
Oh boy, that's the popcorn.
That's the
So
popcorn.
yeah, so she decides to go back. She confronts Helena, right? Is like, I want control of MDR. And basically it's like, the board is willing to speak with you if you just follow me. And halfway through, up to the door, right? Miss Cobell stops. I don't know, man. Like, this is just speculation at this point. She had a look on her face like, I might get murdered here. So she just
Right?
about faces and leaves, right?
It was like
Um,
almost like, are they gonna sever me?
yeah, is there something gonna happen, right?
Hmm.
So who knows, she might be privy to information that is not being outwardly revealed here. But yeah, so
Hmm.
I'm getting ahead of myself. So basically stuff progresses and we then are being shown oh yeah, of course, Milchek speaks with the board. He gets these weird paintings
Yes.
that basically recanonize him in the position of Kier, basically,
Yep. Super
which,
weird.
okay, as a religious tactic, that is very interesting because it
Mm.
connects you to the belief system in a
Yeah.
personal way, in a sort of way, right? So also the I forget the name of the gal that the board speaks through. She's basically the mouthpiece of the board. She visits Ricken
Ooh, that's right.
and
That's so
basically
good.
is talking about using his book and tweaking the language to basically kind of almost be like a source text for innies to read in
Yeah.
Lumon, right? Which is like this weird corporate canonical scripture, right? That's what I'm calling it. I
Well,
like to think of it in
it's
those
almost
terms.
like he's gonna be Jesus Christ to
Right. He's their Messiah. So which of
it's
course,
gonna
let's
be
face
the
it,
New Testament.
Ricken is he would love that.
Oh yeah.
Anyway,
I could
so
see him doing a sermon on top of the mountain.
yep. So
Blessed
then
are the cheesemakers.
blessed are the cheesemakers, like blessed are the goat herders. So Devin goes to Mark's place, and they basically are creating this contraption, this fucking I shouldn't cuss.
It's okay. We're live. It's
Okay,
done. You don't have to
okay.
apologize.
This flipping device that I'm like, oh, that's pretty neat. I wonder what that's for. And then we aren't really given the answer until he goes to this like the place where that laboratory gal is,
Mm,
that doctor, and just parks his car and like covers his head and does, and I'm like, oh, he's burning the image into his retinas. I'm like,
yep.
genius. And then,
Knock, knock,
excuse me,
knock.
popcorn again. Yep. And then knock, knock, knock. It's the laboratory gal. And she's like, hey, it doesn't work. Sorry. And I'm like, oh man, I
So
thought for
close.
sure. And yeah, so basically she's like, hey, I can actually reintegrate you. This time it's totally safe, by the way.
Hmm.
Double swear,
Yeah.
BT dubs, right?
Fingers crossed behind her back.
Fingers crossed, well, what we see is she sets up her laboratory in Mark's basement.
Which is,
At
I
his
thought was
house.
super weird. Like, you would think they would be watching his house at this point.
You would think so.
But anyways, keep going. Sorry,
Yeah.
I did not mean to
Yeah.
interrupt.
We can talk about that too. So basically, now I realize why it's more safe. At least I think so, because and it's interesting. She gives us a little bit of exposition.
Mm,
She's explaining to Mark about how the device works, about modulating the 5 brainwave frequencies, delta, beta, theta, uh, gamma, and alpha. I think.
yeah.
I can, yeah. But basically, she basically once you be once you transition into your any self,
Hmm.
basically those frequencies are centered, like they're like harmonized basically. And
Yes.
when you're not, they're disharmonized, right? So she's basically modulating the brainwave frequencies to get them to merge, so he becomes his any self. Basically snap him back out, and she's asking him these series of questions, right?
Yeah.
And it's wild. Like that
Yeah.
sort of sequence is crazy. And at the end, we know that any Mark is brought into Outie World, but we don't know if he's integrated yet. We just know that he's kind of flipping through these experiences, right,
Hmm.
as his any self, right?
Yeah.
Which is really cool. So a lot of implications for episode 4.
And I can't believe it happened already. I thought
Yeah,
this would be like the end of season 2,
I know, right? Like kind of the
which
cliffhanger.
is great because that
Yeah,
means there's much more mysteries and maybe even deeper mysteries we don't even know about yet.
right. Exactly. Exactly.
So, is there anything that stood out to you that you wanted to talk about like right away? What was like the thing on the? Was it like Ricken? Was it Mark being reintegrated? Like what was the thing that stuck out to you the most that we want to deep dive into?
For this episode,
Yes.
particularly,
Don't take too long.
I know. No, I know. We're live after all. Um,
By the way, you
so
know what? How about when you're doing that? Let's see here. What do we got? What do we got? We got some comments.
oh, what? Nice. All right. Comments are going. Awesome.
We're back. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. When Mark and Hallie raises her shirts, we see Mark's belly button, but not Hallie. I think it's just because of her skirt, because
Her
she's like
skirt.
wearing a high waisted skirt. But no, we
You know what?
technically did not see a belly button.
Let's not leave anything to
You know
chance
what?
here, my darling.
That would be a great place to start, actually.
Yeah.
Let me.
what
Nope,
a
not there.
what a chapter.
Yeah, I want to
So,
start with Hallie.
yeah.
Do you think that's Hallie R, or do you think that's Helena? Because my theory is it's Helena. I don't believe that's Hallie R.
Okay.
Because she seems off. Like she doesn't even seem like herself. Even when they were like crawling through, she's like, "Are you sure you want to go? Can you see anything ahead?" Like it's there's
So.
just so many and it was weird when they first got off the elevator and
Mm,
when they in the episode 1 and then also at the end of episode 2 when she goes up the elevator, we don't hear the G chord or whatever. When it's like dunk dunk
mm,
where switches it to like that she
mm.
switches it back kind of thing.
That's a good
So
point. Nick, you might be more astute than I, because I just chalked it up to her being jealous that Mark
oh,
is trying to find his dead wife, right? Um,
hey, which you could be right.
I
Because
mean,
I've been wrong on
his
many other
always
things.
alived wife, I guess, in this case.
Just so you know, I had a theory that Milchick lived with Dylan at one point because that's how he got into his closet. Remember, this we've been all over the market here.
That that's a good one, huh?
But
Yeah.
but yeah, I just believe I think I think she's going undercover because there's like that scene in oh man, I have so many old photos to go through where she's like rewatching the playbacks.
Yes.
So it's
Yep.
like she's studying Heliar.
Yeah. And she
So
did react. She did react when they kissed. She like rewinded it, and she was like,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
I think there's definitely
Oh,
something there.
and when she went to turn on her computer at the end of episode 1, sorry, she couldn't find the switch. Where
Oh.
everyone else is like, he's just like one thing. She was like patting around for it, like, oh, where is it? And I think it's somewhere back here. So it's like, dude, clear signs, and like, I don't know. I don't think it's her. And I think the only person that's privy to this or that knows this is our boy Irving. I think Irving caught on with the Gardner question. He's like, gardeners at night. Because remember, she lied
That's
about the
true.
backstory of what
That's
happened.
I was so this show is where I
Yeah.
basically yell things out loud. I'm like, why did she lie? They're this is what they wanted, right? Like, I
Yes.
mean, okay, wow, you got you and the comment section
Oh
are
yeah, yeah. Do you want to pull up
swaying me.
some? What are they saying?
Yeah. Let's see here. Helen, 100%. Let's see here. In the new break room, when Milkshake, nice, told them that the mics and cameras are gone, then left the room. It was Helly who said, "We can talk. The cameras are gone." Trying to hear their secret.
Mm, but are the
Okay,
cameras really gone? Like
okay, it's fine.
literally, if we go back
Hmm.
to this, was that was episode one? They literally have audio, like the
Yeah, they do.
audio from when they were like, let's burn this place to the ground. They use
Yeah,
the audio from the thing. It's like they're literally recording everything. And if anything, this new episode, when Dylan goes to his family session, she's listening the whole time.
yeah,
Every word she's popping it in and out.
yeah,
Okay, but anyways, go back. Oh, you know what? Now that we're talking about this, I had a fun theory. You know how it shows them in the mirror room,
yeah,
and it shows him like getting high off snacks, Dylan
yeah,
getting high off
yeah.
snack, and then they bob for pineapples.
Also,
I
pineapple bobbing. Ow. Anyway,
Yeah, I think this is foreshadowing. I think something's gonna happen where Irving's gonna go through like a mirror transition where he's gonna see other flashes of things, or he's gonna go to like a torture room with mirrors. I think something's gonna happen to Dylan when it comes to food and snacks, maybe get poisoned or something like that.
hmm,
I also think something's gonna happen with like not bobbing for pineapples, but something maybe to do with drowning or like waterboarding
they're gonna
for
waterboard
information.
them and
Yeah.
then hit them in the face with pineapples.
And also it's very interesting. We see pineapples here and we also see pineapples in their gift bags.
That's true.
And one
Was a
thing
pineapple involved, Mark?
Well, pineapples are kind of clones, aren't they? So a pineapple, if you take off the top, you can literally put it in the ground, it'll grow the same exact pineapple.
Very
So
true.
it's a clone. So I don't know if this is more cloning things going on here, but
Hmm.
anyways, that was old episode stuff. And um is this our planet? This is our planet, right?
This is
It's
so this
this
is
is
our planet, but it's a I would say an alternate reality, like an alternate dimension
because it's off,
version of our
right?
planet.
Because when
It
it was turning
is.
around, like this does not look correct.
Japan seems to be rotated about
And Alaska's underwater.
120 degrees. Yes,
Yeah.
Alaska's gone. Hudson Bay looks kind of weird. Looks
Yeah.
like an oven mitt.
So
You
I
know.
just thought that was interesting. But anyways, back to the current episode.
Yes.
Woohoo! So I think it's Helena, not Haliar. So I don't think Haliar has been activated yet. And
Okay,
I think it's going to
Nick,
be fun when it does get
you're
activated. It's going
swaying
to
me,
get
Nick. You do this to
crazy
me.
up in here.
You do this to me where
It's
I
going to be
feel
like
can pew, pew, pew.
so, yeah. And
Wow.
well anyways, that was just something off the top of my head kind of thing. So, but let's click through. So, we start off the episode with him. He's interested in knowing if his wife, Miss Casey, is or Gemma or gosh, all the name, but he's desperately wanting to know answers. And as we can tell, spoilers. We spoiled so much already, but at the end
Yeah.
of the episode, it's 100% confirmed to him that
Mhm.
Miss Casey Gemma is still alive.
By the scientist gal, I unfortunately forget her name. If anyone in the comments
Oh
knows,
yeah.
I
Oh,
greatly appreciate it.
I know. I do.
Um,
I do go with the simple names like Mark,
also,
Allie, Irving, and Dylan.
when Mark, at first I was like, why is Mark timing himself? And I knew
Oh
it had
yeah.
something to do about like the setup to, going down the elevator and stuff and time, but like
Yeah.
I didn't know what. And then we find out later. But yeah, that's
Yes, we do. Oh yeah.
yeah.
I'm kind of bummed. I would have loved to at least seen him try to communicate with any Mark before
Hmm.
integration. It's cool. He's integrating now, but I'm kind of bummed because there goes the whole like aspect of them trying to communicate secretly, which
I
I
mean,
think would have been great for storytelling.
that code reader is a hell of an obstacle
If
to
it's
get.
real, remember, we don't know if it's fully real yet.
Okay, okay. Oh yeah, it's not
Yeah,
confirmed.
remember, it hasn't been fully, but I
Hmm.
could be wrong again. I've
Yeah.
been wrong before. Oh, and okay, so we have a new intro too, which is really cool. Did you watch the new intro, the
Yes,
animated intro? So
yes,
I
yes.
see all these babies, so I'm like thinking clone, 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 but I don't know if they're messing with us with the clone stuff.
To me, those babies look like they're in business suits.
Boss baby,
Boss baby.
baby boss.
Yeah. Maybe it's a metaphor that they're basically making babies just to
Yeah,
work in corporate,
but
hell all their lives.
I also just want to say it was really cool to finally have the payoff because he's always been in red pajamas and in a suit. And when he was wearing a red sweater when the integration happened.
Yep.
So it's like paying homage to all these intros we've been watching
Yeah.
finally with him with the red jack, to that it's just really cool. It's
Yeah.
cool that that's happening. But I still can't get over it happened already. Okay. Anyways,
She
okay.
okay. Okay. Board the board
Board,
gal.
board,
What's her
board,
name?
board, board,
The board.
board.
So I also known as the Borg.
The
Okay,
Borg.
here's the thing. It's weird because they have the speaker that's always has that always has static. So you're assuming the board is
Yeah.
going to speak through it, but
Mhm.
she is like it's like the voice of God speaks through her, right? Like she
Mm,
is a conduit to speak for the board because she's getting it through her earpiece, right? Or so
yeah.
we're led to believe. So and she just how she always is in control of her smile
Yeah.
and just like making eye contact, and it's man, it was just unsettling, that
Yes.
whole scene.
Especially when she like walked to the side
Yes,
and she was like, "Oh,
and
come on.
she
I can
never
do this."
blinks and doesn't break eye contact.
Yeah. She is good. She's good.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at Jeepers Creepers. Look at those people.
And it's also interesting that more punishment hasn't happened yet. Well, maybe we just haven't seen punishment that happened to the Lumen Company for the leak that happened. It's weird that he
Hmm.
actually got promoted, even though it happened on his watch. And
True, he's a part
and
of the
also
management
like
scheme.
she was there when Helena went on the stage and it was Heliar. So it's so interesting. I mean, maybe forgiveness is a big part of the Lumen cult.
Well, here's the thing. Remember, this is like episode 1 or 2, where it's like Kier forgives his betrayers or something like that.
Oh,
And there's a painting of him cutting them off below the clavicle and
yeah.
bleeding.
This one right here, huh?
Yeah, what is that?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if that's forgiveness, or maybe there's an artistic metaphor I'm not
So
getting with this, but
now that you brought this up too, so
fair
last time
pardon.
we saw a painting, it came true later on, which was the waffle party. So
True.
at what point are we gonna
Unfortunately.
see all of our four buried underground or buried in sand in some room
Yeah.
being judged?
Yeah. Also, the black goat is a symbol from the erotic dance production we saw.
Oh,
And now we have someone that's dressed as a black goat in the
yeah,
goat room.
that guy. Yeah.
So there's something, and so I'm like, okay, why do they need someone like that?
You, you know what's
Also, remember, people, that man gets paid money. He makes a paycheck.
well? Do we know if these people leave though? They
Actually,
look like they look like
that's a
they
great
don't
question.
leave. They look like they're pretty beat
Honestly,
up.
you're right. It doesn't look like they leave. It doesn't look like they
I
get out much.
okay. I
Looks like
hate
goats is their thing.
I hate referencing the show Lost all the time, but it reminds
Mhm.
me of the others.
Okay.
Like,
Okay.
you finally get to meet, the others, which is like these people that lived on the island. So these people live here full time.
Yeah.
And but I don't know though, because they did see Miss Casey and they did talk about their outie.
Yeah.
Maybe they work like longer shifts. What if they're like nurses where it's like a 12-hour shift compared to like an 8-hour shift or something, and that's why they feel more haggard?
Could be. I mean,
Hmm,
animal husbandry is quite a job. You
I
know,
want to know.
it's hard. I'm assuming.
All right, so let's take a quick break. Let's see what the comments are saying here.
All right.
You want to pick
See
some
here.
where we left off?
Let's see here.
Go ahead. You can also read them too. You got such a beautiful voice. It goes with those luscious locks you got. I should have did my hair down when I did a ponytail.
Well,
Anyways, we're
it
live. I
looks
get
like it. It looks like Tara Casano was agreeing with you, Nick. Like the most
mm,
damning evidence is her looking for the switch and no severing sound in the
yeah.
elevator. Yes. So looks like where I thought I was really on point with noticing everything, I missed quite a bit. It seems.
It's okay,
Uh,
expert.
yeah. All right, let's see what I like the word. I like the name Scott Spot here. All right.
Yes.
In the new break room. Oh wait, we already saw that. Whoops a daisy. Let's see here. She's the kid. That's true. Code Knox.
Oh,
I assume you're talking about Heliar. Yeah, or
so
Helena. Sorry,
she's now the spy on the
she
inside.
is. She's the inside gal. Austin Inman. She wouldn't have a belly button if she wasn't born. Ah, the show. That's true. That's true. I mean, she is also like, if it really is Helena, what kind of weird, messed up stuff is the Kier family
Yep.
doing?
So Helena is in line, right, to inherit the next,
True.
be the
She
next
is the
owner.
heiress. Yes.
So, and then we know the chip that's in her dad's. What's the dad's name? Oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm blanking on this right now. Um, we know the chip has the previous Egans, right? Like it's like the Avatar state where he can like
Right.
access like the
That
catalog and stuff like that.
is nuts.
So she's being prepped. I don't know. This is
Maybe like
mm,
another thing is one of my favorite scenes is when he go like it because episode 2 it shows the aftermath on the Audi
oh
side,
yeah.
right?
Hmm.
And Kier just walks up to her after the whole debacle on stage and is
Yeah.
just like fetid moppet
What
and leaves.
I wonder what kind of term that is too, because
Fetid means
not.
I looked it up. So
Oh,
so so fetid is like dirty or like just like slovenly kind of.
mm,
And then a moppet is an endearing term of like an energetic, precocious girl.
oh,
So like a dirty, like a dirty, mischievous, girl that's
mm,
you know cute, I guess. But he seems to say it in a manner that was an epithet.
mm,
So
yeah. Um. Oh, you know what? So we did a post on our TikTok azart.space, but I have the clip here. Um, if you were to play,
hmm.
I just wanted before I forget, I wanted to talk about if you were to play the end of, if not towards the end of season or episode 2, it like perfectly syncs up with the
Mhm.
beginning of episode 1.
The timing that they go
The
into the
timing.
elevator, then pop out of
Oh,
it. Yeah,
such a beautiful.
I was tripping, straight
There
tripping.
there was a lot of beautiful shots in this season too. A couple of shots remind me of like a Wes Anderson movie too, where like when she's walking. Um. Uh-oh. What am I doing? Oh, there you go. One more. Uh, I have one more video to show.
Uno Mas
Oh Lord, it's happening live, everyone.
going through his lexicon of video
So,
captures.
like that shot, it was so beautiful
So good.
when she's like
Yep.
walking across, and it reminded me of Life Aquatic or something like that, where it's like
Yep.
you have
Yep.
the sub. Oh, it's so good. Anyways, he
Also,
very
that
beautiful
dude,
stuff.
that dude,
Oh yeah,
the big guy. So two things about the big guy. He's
yeah.
definitely a corporate henchman. Just because notice how when she is talking with the board at the long table, and
Oh yeah,
he sits all the way at the end of the table, which
yeah.
signifies how far away he is from the seat of power. Right. Um,
I will also think he might be the new security guard,
he
maybe.
might. He definitely might. Also, why does he have frolic tattooed on his
Oh
hand?
yeah, that's a good
I
one. Wow,
mean,
that's a
it's
good
one of the
question.
four tempers.
One of the four tempers.
So I'm just guessing. I don't know. That's
Well,
interesting. Is
I'm
he
also
perhaps a personification? Is he an avatar for frolic? Does he
I
represent?
it might also have to do, maybe there's a person for each one.
Hmm. Hmm.
Maybe,
Okay.
and maybe Maybe it's someone we've seen too. We just haven't got a clear shot of their hand.
I mean,
I
it looks like he doesn't frolic too much though. That's all I gotta say.
yeah. But one thing that's interesting too, I think he might have also been the character when it's I believe it was episode 1 when Mark runs around and he goes to the wellness to check on, you know, his where he thinks his wife would be. There's like a blurred out figure in the background.
Yes,
Remember?
who was observing him and then like walks away before he turns,
It
right?
might be him, but I don't know. Obviously, I don't
That's
know. If I did know, I would be
that's
working
another
on
good
this.
point.
I'm not that skilled when it comes to this. Okay, any other? She's the camera now.
Yeah.
So,
So, hmm.
oh, interesting. This is a good comment too. All new perks
All
are
the new
punishments.
hmm.
I honestly believe that, especially with Dylan,
Yeah.
because it's like you're torturing this guy now.
In a way, yeah. Like so it's interesting. But in a way, I mean, we saw the after effects afterward. So while we know, because we have the context of both Innie and Outie Dylan,
Yes.
and Dylan has a little bit now because they had the OTC event, right?
Yes.
But I think it's going to motivate him
Mm. To work
because
harder.
also remember he didn't go along with the gang in you know searching stuff. He's like, I'm going to
Mm.
stay behind and do my work, right?
So it's working and distracting him from taking away from his team effort, I guess,
Hmm.
because he didn't go with Irving to
Right.
look for the black hole room, which was actually ended up working out even better for Irving. Actually, we need to talk about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That whole sequence where he talks to the lady that worked with
Alicia.
Bert,
Yeah. Yeah.
but when she's flipping through the artwork, she
Yes.
comes across.
This is amazing. First off, I just want to say all the portraits of Bert and how like I wanted to flip through it and just kind of see it, like tremble with all the different line,
Mm,
variations and hatching and stuff.
beautiful.
Yeah. But yeah, sorry.
And Christopher Walken is beautiful too, right? Yeah.
Yes.
And then we get the sketch,
Hmm.
and she knows about this room.
She
It's
does.
very casual. It's just like, yeah, it's a room. People come and go. They come, they eat, they
She
leave.
called it, didn't she call it the export room?
It was something like that. I just know since they make everything, right? And they
Yeah.
deliver to all departments, so
Mhm.
they would do deliveries down that way. And I
Yeah.
wonder if they stopped doing that when they teamed up with MDR.
Interesting.
I mean, I've never,
Basically, like
yeah,
management's like, nah, we're just sending a guy now.
yeah. Everyone's getting to export room, the export room.
Thank you, the export room. Oh my gosh. Perfect.
Yes.
Okay. Thank
Sorry,
you.
we just finished watching and we hit
Yeah.
record.
So what's interesting is we don't really see another scene with them because Irving is
No,
actually asking like, what's down there?
and he also asked, "Do you remember where it's at?"
Do you remember where it's at? Yeah.
And he has a hall pass. They're supposedly, they're not being filmed, or we don't see cameras. They're not being recorded. But it's like, come on,
It's just to placate them.
come on. They're
Give
being
them the
filmed
sense
and
that they have
recorded.
agency or
You know,
something. Yeah.
but okay, now they're being filmed and recorded, right?
Yep.
So, we got to talk a little bit about the Ricken storyline.
Yeah.
So there was theories where he was like connected to the Egans because of the way he looks. He has a very Egan look, remember? Like with the
Right.
beard and the mustache, even the hairline.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm like talking and scrubbing while we talk. Oh, there you go. Okay, here we are. Here we are. So they're talking. Oh my gosh, there you go.
Yeah.
And they're going to be using his book as the gospel, I'm guessing.
No,
But
that's a great term for it, really.
but I think because they trust him as a writer, and Mark
Mm.
has now vouched for him, saying he's my brother-in-law. Like, remember, like when they were in the meeting. So I think, and they're gonna twist some of his words, like he said, they're gonna modify it for the innies, so it's not gonna be the exact
Yep.
verbiage. But what are they gonna write in there to kind of brainwash them back to the
Mm.
principles that they teach there? So
So, I mean, it's interesting because the contents of his book is kind of like self-help in a way, like and like
Mm-hmm.
a like philosophy and stuff like that,
Yeah.
like to like approach life. It's kind of life coachy, I guess, a little bit. Like, but um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So I wonder. It's definitely going to be a gospel of some kind. That's a good term. I want to use that now
And Devin's not keeping him in the loop.
because I don't think she
We
trusts
trust him. We
Ricken
think.
because look,
I don't think it's like.
Ricken's ego and pride has been co-opted, right?
Mm,
Which may like I mean we've seen that throughout the show is that he has a pretty good he tries to hide it, but he has a pretty high opinion of himself,
yeah.
right? And I think that in Devin's eyes compromises him.
Mm-hmm.
That's just you know
But
speculation.
I wonder if he's going to play a much bigger role.
I think so. I think he is definitely.
Yeah. I mean, in
He's
what
got more of a
capacity?
stake. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Not a
Um,
stake, but it's just stake in the situation.
yeah. So, okay. Speaking about Gemma now,
Hmm.
that's the big plot twist, right? Like, I thought there was like a fire and her body was burnt, supposedly, right? And
From the car accident.
yeah, from the car accident. This is my best going off the top of my head with my memory here. And well, I don't remember if the body was identified or if it was just like, that was the car and there was a burnt crisp there, someone burnt to ashes or, or something like that. I'm really struggling to remember all that stuff, but i- is it her
So here's the thing.
or is it a clone?
Yeah. So I thought when him and Devin were talking at Pips in episode 2,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I got that.
that
I got that
he
here.
had mentioned that he had to ID her body. I thought he had said that.
You're right. You're right. Yeah. No, you're right. So he did ID the
And
body.
that's what kind of got him angry too, like why she
Hmm.
left is because he's like, I had I've been through this, like it happened to me, right? That sort of thing,
Mm.
right? And um, yeah, so that's interesting, yeah.
So if she is a we
You got this good
okay,
screen cap right here.
yes, okay. So the file they're working on is clearly her
Cold
at
Harbor
this
is Gemma,
is Gemma, I think.
Miss Casey, yeah.
And I think that's why Miss Cobell wants to see this through. This is
Hmm.
like her passion project. That's why during the wildness session, she broke into Mark's house to get the candle, to light the candle to hopefully activate some kind of sense. And then remember how he sculpted a tree, and we know the car accident happened at the tree, so she was trying to make some kind of connection, or even see if if he was already integrated too, because they know he was close with PD and stuff like that, and they were trying to do all that stuff. But I was just like, they're working on her file, so are they working on a new updated clone of her?
Could be actually, could you go back to that
Do you think
screen, Nick?
do you think she's the clone? A clone of Gemma?
It's highly plausible. Or they use the clone to burn her body or to be
Mm,
so these readouts are really interesting. I wonder if we have any people
closer up?
in medical fields
Oh.
or something like this. What are we seeing here with like the EKG readout? What are the metrics here that we're seeing? What
Mm.
is this also depicting down below? Is this
Well, we have
cells? Is
this.
this like a
We
CAT
have
scan?
this.
Now we know. Okay, so John answers. Now we know what 5 boxes mean when they're refining. It is related to the brain.
So
Dude,
the five
John.
things that
Yes. Okay. That makes sense. That
we
makes
should invite
sense.
him on the show at this
But
point.
I
I mean,
thought but I thought it was related to the four tempers.
Whoa, no, no, no. Okay, these 5 boxes.
The okay, yeah, sure. Okay.
m-
Yeah, these 5 boxes.
Maybe
Yeah,
maybe
yeah, yeah,
these
yeah.
5 boxes, because there was another section.
Because we also have the four marks.
This no, it's five
Yes.
though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, no, yeah, yeah, yeah. But underneath them are the four tempers under each column. When you saw Miss Casey's readout, it said
Okay.
frolic. Yeah, there
Oh
we go.
yes, yes.
Frolic. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The fourth
So we had the
section within
five
the one.
brain waves. We got the four tempers.
And I mean, think about it too. When they click and drag, it fills it up in percentages. Oh yeah, yeah. So they got to get the four tempers of the brain waves or the 5 sections of the brain. Oh man. This is
Whoa.
why I'm
And
not a
is this like a
doctor.
CT scan, like mid-cycle right here in the lower
And
left?
and
I
is
don't
that
know.
heart rate? I think that's heart rate right there, right? With the
Okay.
beeping. That has to be heart
Okay.
rate. Like she's attached, she's still alive. Oh, here's a closer up, if that helps. There's Frolic, right? FC.
Yep.
Would that be Frolic?
Malice,
Malice.
dread, and woe.
And whoa, 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 whoa. And and this looks familiar. The circles. I
Right.
think when he was doing his thing, was that a similar circle thing with the sand?
Oh yes, with the vibrate, like
Oh,
the
this thing.
resonance, the
This
resonance
thing,
stuff.
right?
Yeah.
It was
Zh-
something similar, right?
Yeah. Okay.
He started twitching, and then the waves. Okay,
Modulating the brain
it goes. Wah, wah,
frequencies.
wah, 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 wah. I'm gonna do the sound effects for everyone. Blah, 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 blah.
Also,
But
also,
look it. Ready?
yep,
That's pretty
yep.
close,
It is
right?
pretty close.
Like
It is
boom.
very
See,
close.
boom,
Yep. Boom.
boom.
Shaboopy. Yep.
Case closed.
Also, John
Thank you
answers.
for the brain waves. I would have never made that
Yeah.
connection without your brilliant brain waves interfecting or affecting mine. Oh my gosh, it's getting so complicated now.
So John answers, thank you
Mm.
because you gave me the name of who I was calling laboratory gal, Dr.
Oh,
Reghabi. Thank you. Dropped just
Reghabi.
5 brainwaves. Yep, lol, yep, yeah.
I
So
feel so smart now. Just kidding, I'm just kidding.
wow, we got it on lock. I'm sure we can derive everything now.
The show is
Yeesh.
figured out. It has to do with the brain. I'm just kidding.
Yep. I don't even want to watch it anymore. We're good.
I actually can't wait till next week. By the
Oh
way,
yeah.
I thought this was going to drop Friday, and it ended up dropping Thursday, even though
Yeah,
it
Nick
says
and I were like
Friday.
texting back and
Oh
forth,
my
like,
gosh.
is it Friday or
Uh,
Thursday, dude? Yeah. Yeah.
oh, by the way,
So
if you guys want, we have Audi shirts at the bestnerdyshirts.com. Oh, I'm not wearing my Audi shirt because I'm cold. But yeah, Audi. I'll pull it up at some point
tis the
later. But the
season.
bestnerdyshirts.com,
Tis the
right?
season.
Yeah. Anyways, back to this wonderful episode. So the brain. That was okay. So literally, they're working on Miss Casey or Gemma.
So here's the thing.
Mm.
It seems like, and this is just speculation at this point, they're trying to make like a fully severed person. So as in like they just erase their brain or their memory, right?
I
And
don't
they
know.
just start over from scratch, you
Or are
know?
they just like creating more sections within someone's brain?
Okay, so like
Because I kind of had
multi
a fun theory about Irving. What if Irving? I'm trying to get an image of him so when I talk about him,
Yeah,
goodness gracious, the scrubbing feature. There you go.
there you go.
What if he's like, because he's been at the company for a while, so
Three years. Yeah.
he might have an older chip model in him,
Hmm.
just like how Petey probably had an older chip model than Mark.
Okay.
Maybe which
Okay.
would make integration more difficult or
Because the
easier
chip
because
technology is it fairly recent or has it been around for a bit? They just iterated on it.
we know Helena was a child. Because I think when the dad was talking to her before
You're
she
right.
spoke at the last episode, he's like, "I remember when you saw the lights blinking on the first chip or something." Like he's like,
That's right.
"Hufflepuff,
Yeah. Yeah.
Hufflepuff," but yeah.
So it's at
So
least been
maybe
a
that's
few decades.
why
Yeah.
memories are leaking for Irving.
Hmm.
Because we would see the paint dripping.
Yep.
He would see the door
Mm-hmm.
in his dreams in his
Yeah.
sleeping, and we know his Audi his Audi is up to something, right? Because if we go
Yeah.
to
He's been doing some recon.
like he's using a payphone, so we know he's
Yeah.
communicating to someone. He's definitely he lied to Milchak like about what's going on. Like
Yep.
he ended up at Bert's house. I mean, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. So we know something is definitely and we know he had information. He had the paintings he kept painting. We know he was drinking tons of coffee, and I don't know if he sent himself tired to work on purpose, so
Right.
his innie would dream. This is
Right.
we've done breakdowns of all these characters and
Yeah.
stuff. I'm kind of just repeating myself, but yes, it's I am very excited to see what's gonna happen because he didn't want to come back. his love of his life was gone, and I'm happy he's here because I think we're gonna see some big things from Irving this
Yeah,
season.
I think so. I
I
think you're
I,
right about that.
I think Dylan's gonna be distracted for a little bit, and he's a strong character in their group to have. He's got
Right.
muscle.
He's got
Willing.
gumption.
He's willing
Yeah.
to use his teeth. He has
Mm-hmm.
a belt.
Yeah, he has yeah, that's true.
But yeah, and it's also been interesting too how much they've all been separated. They've kind of
Yeah.
been doing their own things right now. So it'd be cool to see them come together
Mm-hmm.
to solve this bigger mystery. Any other, you know what? Let me see what I had images for from the previous. So we talked about that stuff. Oh, oh, I also thought it was very weird how do you think Milchek is severed at any stage? Or do you think he like he said, he's not severed and he has to go home knowing what he's done? Like you remember, I think he said something to Mark in episode
Yeah.
season one. He's like, I don't have the privilege of forgetting or something like I have to live
Yeah.
with the things I do here or something like that.
Yeah.
Do you think he's severed and he just doesn't know it? Or do you think
I think he is. I think he
he's
is.
human?
Well,
Because remember, we had a theory that he's cloned and there's
right.
multiple.
There was one part. I don't know. There was just something about the scene because that's what I love about the show is that like there is a lot of subtext.
Yeah.
Also in just the performance of the actors and stuff.
Hmm.
But when he was looking at the recanonized paintings of himself,
Oh, yeah.
um, he
That
said
was that
these
was really
make me
weird.
feel connected. Like he kind of like trailed off, almost trailed off at the end, and like was really milling through something,
Mm-hmm.
as if they brought up something or he was trying to piece something together. And I don't.
And they're definitely watching him for a reaction.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
like studying him to see like is he gonna throw this painting? Is he gonna be angry? I mean, it's
interesting.
just
Wow.
I wasn't it's so funny. I was watching this episode with my wife and she said this right away when we were watching the show. I'm like, she's smart. Maybe
She
we gotta
said,
get
"What?"
her on the show. But she just knew that the paintings were gonna end up like this. She was
Mm.
like, no, no, they didn't. Like she like called it before they even opened up the box. I was like, dang,
Yeah.
what else you got? What else you got?
Yeah. Well, didn't they say like recanonized, like with your impression or something before
Yes.
you?
Uh huh.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. So I was like, okay, they're definitely like rewriting it,
Yeah.
yeah, to or repainting it. Yeah, interesting.
Yeah. Okay. And then
I still don't know why she was off to whatever cold neck or whatever
well,
neck
in the
location.
passenger seat was the breathing thing,
Yes,
and we know it either belonged to a kid, herself at one point,
or mother,
maybe,
right?
or a mother. Right? It was one of the. I can't remember what we decided on, but
Yeah.
but maybe I thought at first she was going back to her like home, like her birth of home or
Okay.
something, or to go visit this person, but then like she did the sharp turnaround or something like that.
Yeah.
Because I think now that the church, it's not a church, but Lumen, like the religion,
Yeah.
kind of outed her, or she's deciding to leave. I wonder if she's gonna be like part of the team, or is she gonna do the thing again where she's gonna earn back their trust by
Doing some act of loyalty or
like
something.
she did at the end of the episode. Like even though they
Right.
got rid of her, she literally was still keeping up the facade with Mark. Actually, she had like a turning point. I think we thought like, oh wow, she's being like really nice to Marcus and like maybe this is gonna turn. And then once she realized the chip turned on, it's like
Mhm.
she reverted back to her old self. Like, no, I gotta warn the company or something like that. So
Hmm.
I think she was like, quit, Mark, quick, quit, or she was like encouraging him to like do something else or
Yeah.
something like that. Oh yeah, yeah. Sorry guys. I'm just rambling now.
Your rambling is the pillar that keeps this thing going, Nick. No.
All right. Oh, then the goats. That was fun. I mean, that's not the answer I was looking for the goats.
But wait. What answer were you looking for, Nick? With
I
the
don't know.
goats?
Like, I wanted. Okay, this may go dark, but remember we had the theory that they were going to be sacrificing goats.
Oh
Maybe they
yeah,
were
yeah, in some
using
sort of
for like
weird pagan
yeah, a
ritual.
pagan
Yeah.
kind of thing. So I didn't know if they
Yeah.
were going to go back there and you would see like a blood trail or something like like they were all
Yeah,
slaughtered.
that'd be pretty nuts.
But I mean, it's we still don't know why the goats are there, but I loved how at her desk that
Yeah,
she
that
was
part creeped
working
me
at,
out the most. That's where I was like, "Oh hell no, no, no,
but
no."
her desk, I want to get the shot, the establishing
Yeah.
shot.
Yes,
They they have a vending
they
machine
have a
in
vending
the
machine.
room.
She has a Lumen sanctioned goat bell.
Yeah, she has a bell and then she has a phone,
Yep,
which is interesting because none of MDR has phones.
that's a good point.
So is she at like a Milchick
She's
level?
a department manager maybe
Yeah,
for mammals, for mammalians, right?
yeah.
She's probably the well, that's interesting because then she behaves a lot differently than Ms. Cobell did when she was, the
I don't miss
department head.
Miss Cabell was crazy. She was like
Yeah,
singing some kind of religious
yeah.
song.
But
She would
she's
yell.
because management to me seems to be against any sort of like, freer thought or greater discussion
Mm,
from employees. And
mm,
if she's at the same level as Milchick is now, like she definitely doesn't have that management sort of,
mm.
attitude, right?
No, not at all.
She's like,
Well, Miss Cobell, her Harmony, she threw a mug at Mark. Do you remember that when she got
she
like
did.
so pissed? She like chucked the mug at him
She's got an angry streak, that's for sure. Also stepped on the gas,
and yelled at
and
him.
yelled. Yeah.
When she
Yep.
yelled at him, I loved that. She's so good. Can we just talk about the actors and the actors in this show? They're all A plus.
Hmm.
I mean, the first episode, if I had to give it to like, I thought Dylan. I think the actor's name is Zach Cherry. Um, I loved his character in the first episode of season two. I just
Hmm.
loved his character, the language he was using, the way he was like
Yeah.
hugging Irvin, or it's just like I was like digging it. And then I really loved Milchick's character
What you can
in
do about my belt? Sorry. Just
yeah,
so nothing, huh?
so
Okay.
many good
Yeah.
one-liners. And then Milchick's, it's just like I loved him in the episode two. How he's like firing them, and then he's like coming back with the basket. But then the way he was interacting with each one, I'm like, man, this guy is so freaking talented. He's so good.
Yeah.
He's so good.
He makes himself like everyone like all the management makes himself borderline inhuman almost.
Yeah.
But like just because it's like they just found out how to use emotions, right? Like like that
Hmm.
sort of thing. It's
And
really
then
interesting.
this episode, I don't know who I would give it to. Like the actor that stood out to me, they were all really good. I mean, I was
Yeah,
very
I don't.
Mark heavy. It was a very Mark heavy episode,
Hmm. Hmm.
but it was fun seeing the new characters with the goat people. We saw the one guy that was feeding the goat with the bottle. He was the guy with the beard. He was like the
Yep.
German dude or whatever.
Yep.
Um,
The
but
guy wearing the green collared shirt. Yeah.
yeah,
And
but it was good. I'm gonna go through.
pineapple.
Oh yeah,
Oh, dude,
okay,
the
dude.
door. Oh my god.
Okay, first before you say so, I just want to say it reminded me so much of Monsters Inc. and the door room because those doors are just like going in circles behind them, kind of.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but yeah, I love that whole sequence. Um, man,
Yeah,
Dylan, that's good.
this whole sequence was great in that it was both hilarious and kind of anxiety inducing.
Mm,
Just like how the whole because like it's going really good until
yeah,
it wasn't, right? Until he didn't want to play kickball, right? Then it all went downhill. He didn't
yeah,
want to play the game. Dylan, you got to play the game,
yeah. And
Yeah.
it was also interesting too to finally see him interact with his family too. Like he wasn't even being like, I don't want to say he's not a good dad, but like, the kids are just watching
Not
TV
that
and
engaged.
he's just not being
Yes.
present,
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
guess. And it's so interesting too because our our Dylan is very present.
He is. He's really a go-getter.
Yeah, and he's very much he cares about his friends a lot. And yeah, it was very interesting to see the differences. And it's we see that with Mark S too. We see how our the Audi Mark is very sad and depressed,
Yeah.
and like moping, and but then you have Mark S who's like on the inside all preppy and
Yep.
go getter Mr. Positive. So it's very interesting. We don't really get much of Helena. except for what she does, kind of thing. As being a boss or owner of the company. So it's and
Yeah.
Irving. We didn't get much of his outing. We saw him sitting with
No.
Radar for for a little bit for that episode when they got switched
Yeah.
before they got switched, and then this one we saw him on the phone, and the way he smiled and nodded reminded me of Inning Irving a lot. So it was just very very interesting. So
Well, I think we're definitely going to get. I think we're going to shift focus here for some characters other than
mm,
what we saw today.
I hope so.
Look, like there's such a cast of characters, and they all
Yeah.
have pieces of the puzzle, right?
Yes.
And we're gonna start to connect
Yeah.
some pieces.
Yeah. I can't wait
No,
to see
no,
all the updated rooms too,
right.
because they redid the break room,
That's right.
which was also interesting too. Because in the break room, let me go back to that first episode. Um, you're a color theory guy, right?
Yes,
So
I am. Yeah.
what does green, red, and blue mean for color theory?
Like this is well, okay. So green, red, and blue is interesting because that is more around light rather than pigmentation.
Right? Yes.
It'd be blue, red, and yellow if it was pigmentation.
Yes.
But yeah.
So obviously we see the colors here, the three colors,
Hmm.
and it was on the projector. They had the three colors, right? So
Hmm.
it's just yeah, I'm curious where they're going with that. Like I don't know if and then we saw that he was trying to burn like images into his retina. So I wonder and then we know the
Right.
break room originally they would like flash a light with the things. So there's some kind of programming happening with light. So I don't know if this is something we should keep an eye on or if it's just like it's old, really old
You know what,
technology
Nick?
with projector stuff. So
I think it's worth
yeah,
worth a worth a little bit of our
yeah.
attention.
I also thought it was funny too how they put Ricken's book on on Heliar's desk on the top down
Yeah.
view. I'm like, how did that make that on there? Very
Yeah.
interesting. Like they want to create their own Bible. Like they're like, subliminally messaging like, hey, this is your guys' book. This is what awakened you guys to this and that and
Yep.
that. And also their production was really good, right? Didn't they get a party and they finished the file 100% with their
Yeah, wasn't it
team?
like Tumwater or something? I
Yeah,
can't remember the file name, but yeah, yeah.
and they finished it. Remember, it was like a
Yeah,
big deal, and
they did.
so their team, and remember the people that replaced them. I don't have a screenshot of that, dang it! But
That's right.
they never had like success, right? So
Yeah,
they're trying
yeah.
to like capture lightning in the
Also,
bottle again.
that was amazing because the Italian guy,
Yeah.
like, they were talking about the CPR dummies. He's like, "We had
Uh-huh.
brooms." I'm like, "This is a Lumen, company you work for in Italy, I'm assuming? Like, is it really under budget? Like, what's going on?" So, it's just interesting. It's like, "Wait, you had an elevator? We had a rope." It's like, what is what
Yeah,
kind
it
of
was so good.
situation,
Yeah.
I'm dealing with
No,
here?
it was. Anyway, I love too how they felt so betrayed when he was like, milkshake.
Yeah.
I can't wait to blow this place up or something. I want to strap a bomb to him or whatever it was. It was so good. Oh, so good. And he like stood up to him. I want my team back. It was great. It was great.
Yeah.
It made me want to stand up to my job and I'm just kidding. Revolt. F you Lumen. F you Lumen,
Oh, yeah, that's right. He went to that show, right?
the punk rock show.
Yeah, oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that's right.
Well, I don't think we answered quite a few comments. I was trying to think if there was anything we missed. In the mirror room. Yeah, I'm going through the comments, but I'm really excited. I thought it was interesting too. Um, they photoshopped the photo of them together to fit on the car
Yeah.
and the line. They also said it's been 5 months. I don't think it's been 5 months that they've been gone. So they're definitely lying to the innies already
Mhm.
about, the timeline, everything that's going on the outside.
Also, wait a
Um,
minute, go back to that. I didn't real they redacted a lot of things in the newspaper. Why wait a minute. I
yeah.
think they just fabricated this newspaper,
Hmm.
right? Also, another thing I keep on coming back to, and I know we talked about it before, but this latest episode really drove home a point. Every car looks like like the latest model is from 1987.
Yep.
Okay. However, yet we've seen that there are smartphones.
Yep.
So it's really anachronistic. It's like space out of time almost, right?
Yeah. I
Um,
mean, it looks like it's on a different planet compared to the
yeah,
way the globe looks.
I know, right?
But they use older vehicles, and yet they have modern
207
technology,
locations worldwide.
and they have these brain chips that have the possibility of splitting the brain. Like that's intense technology. I'm guessing. I don't know. Maybe it's pretty simple, but
No, I mean, they're talking about modulating brainwaves. I don't know, man. It's
that sounds complicated, right?
it's
Okay. Okay. I
complicated.
just wanted to make sure I'm not the only one that was.
I mean, literal brain surgery. Anyway.
um. But yeah, we talked about the painting. We talked about that. We talked about the book. The gardener thing. Yeah, I honestly,
Yeah. Mhm.
100%. I think it's Helena.
Look, you guys
Um,
got me convinced, all right? There's
but
enough evidence now.
they can also be totally misleading us too, because they know how much everyone looks into every detail and stuff on the show. So
Mhm.
I just think like it's like a magic show, right? They want you focusing over here when something else is gonna come in under here, kind of thing. It's like follow the hand. Oh, this is a good one.
That the milkshake
Yeah,
of the vampire? Yeah.
you only see
That's
him at
true. We've
night.
only seen him at night. Hmm.
Is
Dr.
that true?
Apollo, good one. I don't know. We could review the footage, but I
Yeah,
mean, these past few episodes have definitely
yeah.
supported that point.
And we haven't seen where he lived either.
No, we've not been given that insight yet.
Um, and then yeah, it looks like there's other
Oh,
projects
oh,
too.
oh,
I was trying to read the
yes.
screens,
So
but
Nick,
yes.
another thing that I noticed. We have seen two other screens that aren't MDR. We've seen Miss Wong's.
Oh yeah,
It was just a brief shot. She was doing her own stuff
I
on her
think I have an
console.
image of it, right?
And then Milchick was also doing his own work in this latest
Yes.
episode. So
Okay.
they have their own interfaces, right?
So
Yeah.
this one,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, the hoop game, whatever this is.
Yeah, it is a very interesting game. And then while that's happening, I know I saw that at the end of the episode. I forgot to go back to check it. Is that when he
Like their own.
leaves? He like leaves. Hold on, I'm scrubbing. Oh, you know what? You probably enjoy scrubbing too, right? You enjoy watching the scrub?
I do enjoy watching the scrub.
You let me know. I have to keep going, right?
Scrub away. Yeah, keep going.
Do 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 do
Keep
do do
going.
do 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 do
No,
do
no,
do
scrub
do.
forward.
I went
Embrace the
too far.
scrub forward. Embrace the scrub
Did I
forward.
go? Did I go too far back?
Yeah, keep going. Keep going. Keep it going. Keep it going. Yeah, keep
The
going.
car.
Keep going beyond this, even. Beyond this.
Oh,
Beyond.
come on. Oh, oh, it jumps straight to him to the room.
Does it? I could have sworn. Okay. Maybe it's not. Dang it. Sorry.
Okay, keep going. Keep going this
Yep.
way.
Yep. Huh.
Oh, here it
Oh,
is.
there. Yes.
Here
Yes.
it
He
is.
finishes his work.
Oh, here it is. It's coming.
Okay, it's
It's a
coming.
coming.
It's a happening.
Oh,
Ah,
oh,
there,
crap.
there it was. There it was.
So is that like a schedule?
Yeah, there's a log. Oh wait, personnel
Main
for
level.
listings. Okay, so it's a track. It looks like it's a tracking thing, perhaps.
Yeah, it looks like he's tracking his 4 employees, maybe.
Yeah, like their time cards or their time signatures.
Why is one of them selected at the end?
One has a key, and it's a key. It looks like a key icon.
Maybe that's Haliar.
She's unlocked. Credentials
Or
unlocked,
or
baby.
she's locked.
Hmm.
Maybe she's locked, so they're not switching her back, and the other ones are unlocked. Means that they can switch back and forth. It might be
Hmm.
another hint to the it's Helen, not Hallie.
That's a
But
good point.
what do we know? I mean, what does it say? I mean, it says 9, 10, 11, 12. So that must be the days. Why would it go
No,
12 and back to 1?
that's a time. That's a time. So 2 o'clock, like 12 o'clock, 11
Yeah.
o'clock, 1 o'clock. That's my guess because I mean,
And then it log. Would that be the end of the day?
that's a good point.
Oh man.
I don't know. Maybe that's their lunch.
They take a lunch break
Their lunch break. I don't know.
at
I would expect
between
something like
2 and
that from Lumon.
3.
Yeah, that's a weird time. I know. But hey, look, they're underground, dude. It's not like they're going to enjoy the sunshine or anything.
Yeah, it's just so interesting, right? Because you have there's no names attached to it, just numbers.
That's true.
And if it
Do we?
was,
Well, you know what? If we see any numbers on their key cards, maybe on their little
oh
lanyard tag,
Lord.
maybe we'll be able to correlate their
Okay,
IDs.
okay. But I think this is more proof for the Helena theory.
Yes, I think you might be right. I think you might be
But
right.
she's been off to me. And obviously it could be that, her lover is in love with someone else now or has been in love without him knowing because the innie outie weird awkward triangle thing. And
Right.
I don't know, she just doesn't carry the same presence. I think the actress is doing a good job of faking trying to be Heliar.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
I think
I
she's doing a
agree.
good job. So, that bombshell. Any other final last words before we jump off?
John Answer says, think story said the badge numbers don't align with any we have seen, I believe. Okay.
Hmm.
Fair point. Fair point.
Woo! It
Hmm.
was a good episode. We
Yep.
covered some theories. I know we've had some crazy theories about the goats, about Milchek being a clone, about Miss Casey being a clone. I don't know if clones like our own. It's like our go to theory. It might be a bad one, but um. You want to click on that last comment? You want to
Yep. I'm
pull up?
doing it. Dr. Apollo saying, I think it's all about some kind of breeding DNA lineage where they
Oh,
want Mark and Helly to be together. That's why Lumen faked Miss Casey's death.
interesting.
Interesting. So maybe they want to bring about the Kwisatz Haderach of corporate,
Yes,
deliverance. I don't know.
we also covered Dune here too. We have some great Dune videos. Thanks to this mastermind right here. This mastermind right here. Yeah, right here. He's so smart. But it's also interesting too that I feel like Milchek really does care. Like
Hmm.
when he's hurt by them, when he is sad, like he's never violently attacked them. Like we know
Honestly,
Mark,
the only sign of violence I ever saw from him is when he takes the balloons kind of aggressively. That's
he's like
about it.
being very restraintful, but
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I think like he has good intentions, but he just
Yeah.
doesn't know the company he's working for. You know what I mean? Like I don't
I
know.
think yeah, man. I mean,
I
either
don't know.
either
Like
he's either he's completely like just like an airhead, or he is willfully ignorant. All right.
I mean, but like every level could be another experiment.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like the board, we don't
It
even know if
fits
there's
in.
anyone
Yeah.
even on the other side of the board.
It could just be that lady.
It could,
You
and
know,
then maybe her thing
running
is
the whole
another
show.
person, and that is another person. It just keeps going up and up and up.
It's
Um,
a Patroishka doll of just insanity.
all right, let's read these last couple comments
John
here.
answers the after hours, quote unquote, is Twilight Zone episode about a lady who forgets that she's not really human, but a mannequin who is allowed to take human form for 1 month per year.
I guess that's kind of like Miss Casey. I remember she said like I've only lived 10 hours, and they've only been in these sessions or something like that. I remembered like the last session she had with Mark. It was something like I've only lived for such a short period,
That's
and I've
right.
enjoyed every moment that I had living or something like that before
That's
they
that's
sent her
right.
down and reset her. And just the fact that Irving knows about that, I wonder if he's been reset at some point. Maybe he worked for the goats or some other yeah.
Interesting.
Brain spinning. I don't know if there's anything in there though.
In 12 says, I'm late, but the goat people have pouches?
Yeah, which I thought was very interesting. I mean, we didn't see their belly buttons though.
No, we didn't.
Maybe okay. So you know how they like push these theories like Dylan hated the other groups. Remember like when they first went to
Yeah.
What was the other one called?
bought into the propaganda of it all. Yeah.
But remember, like he was like, "We don't talk to them. I don't trust
We
Bert." It
don't
was like,
talk. Yeah.
they remember how they like locked him in a
We
room
don't
and all
talk to
that
O
stuff.
and D. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We don't talk to O&D, but then like maybe they're brainwashed. Like, hey, these other people have pouches, or maybe they're half animals. Who knows what theories that they have been told.
Speaking of speaking of pouches, Nick, John
Mhm.
Answer says no. In season one, they said MDR had pouches to scare them from talking to them. That's true. It was
Mm.
propaganda to keep departments away from each other. So
Mm,
that okay, so okay, I get it. So the mammalians, the goat
that's
people,
right.
are a part of that propaganda machine. They're just like also
Yeah.
believing the same thing, right?
Yeah, they're like being reawakened, and then remember we even had a theory too. So when they go through the elevator, like everything in the chip, the Lumen can literally tell them what they're seeing. It was almost like the Matrix, where like they can probably change paintings like on the spot. Like is what they're seeing actually what they're seeing? Because their environment can change around them like a VR room. With their chip in their brain. I know we talked about that and some other crazy theories too, but.
Whoa, man.
Mm.
This rabbit hole, man.
Oh, but yeah, yeah, that's right. Bert told Irving that. Yeah.
Oh, that's true. That's a good point.
Mm. Man, woo, this is good. So, this is gonna be it for us for tonight. But definitely comment down below other theories that you want us to cover. We'll try to. I know next week I'm gonna be across the pond next week, so it'll be
Oh,
hard for me
really?
and Kyle
Across the
to
pond?
link up to hopefully film an
In
episode.
jolly old England? Sorry.
Fish and chips. But hopefully we can. If not, we might just post one later that week when I get back or something like that. But we'll see how it goes with our schedule. But we just enjoyed talking about this. We would do it
Oh, yeah.
anyways, and we're just like, hey, let's just film it while we talk. I know we've been gone for like a year or more now, but we're
We've not been gone. We've been on hiatus
we,
on that.
we've been on hiatus. We'll see what happens with our schedules and how it works out with us. But remember to go to thebestnerdyshirts.com. We got some fun shirts that Kyle's designed. You know what? Let me pull that up really quick. Kyle, do you want to say anything while I do that up? When I pull that up?
Guys, I just got to say it's been great seeing the turnout in the comments. This has actually been really fun. See you guys engaged. Honestly, you guys are like the collective memory sometimes. Like, because like honestly, when I got to like starting like the live stream, I was like kind of a blank slate. I had just seen the show, and I'm like, what did I just watch? Right. And so it was great to kind of like get reconnected in that sense from Nick and then from you guys, because you guys are also paying attention as well, right? So
Yeah. No,
yeah,
you guys are a lot of help to us. The
but
site
yeah.
might be down.
Well, we're gonna take a look at that maintenance there, Nick.
Has it
That's
been a
fine.
year?
It's been a bit. That's fine. It happens. You know,
Oh Lord.
we're doing it live, buddy. All right.
Yeah, we are doing it live. And we're
Yeah.
proud of it.
Yeah.
Hold on. Hold on. You just keep talking. You just keep tap dancing. I'm gonna do one thing
Oh,
really
bada
quick.
booey, baba booey. All right. No, but honestly, I mean, Nick, we don't have any t-shirt designs in the works, do we? We
Not
haven't
not
been
not right now.
yeah.
But
Okay.
we always had, yeah, something's up with the site. I gotta look at that. But
I'm good.
but we're gonna fix the site. I promise you we're gonna fix the site. But we depending on what shows we cover in the future. Did you watch the Daredevil trailer by any chance? The new one?
No, there's a new
Oh,
Daredevil
there's a new
now.
Daredevil show trailer that looked pretty cool.
Oh, okay.
And I just finished Attack on Titans.
That's right. You shared it with me.
I
I still
Yeah,
haven't watched
no,
the episode.
I haven't yet, but
Oh, you didn't? Okay.
um
Okay.
maybe we'll go through Attack on Titans. That might be fun to start with season 1 again and pull John in because I there's a lot of violence in there. I think John would really enjoy watching Attack on
He
Titans.
really enjoys
Yeah.
the
And
vibe.
we just like shows that make us think, right? Like we've covered Raised by Wolves. It's been a fun show. We did deep dives into his Dark Materials, which has
Love
been
the
a lot of fun.
slow burn
But
mystery.
it might be fun to tap into some anime. I know we did some of the Studio Ghibli stuff or Ghibli stuff, so it'll be fun to tap into some.
I've been watching some Dan, dude.
Oh no, you
I have. I've been watching.
Brad showed me that first episode. I didn't know what I was watching at first. He's like, "Yeah, it's a new show. I want to cover it." And then I was like, "What am I watching?" And I was there with Chris, and me and Chris are like, because you know the whole robot sequence at the
Yeah, the
beginning.
first
I'm
episode,
like, no,
the
no,
first
this is gross.
episode
This is gross. My eyes,
is a
my
bit
eyes.
heavy. Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
no, it's so bad. This is terrible.
Yeah.
These are kids in
They
school.
actually, yes, that's a good point.
I'm like, this is terrible.
Maybe not a good idea to cover that.
Well,
We'll
maybe
see
just
though.
won't
There's
cover episode 1 because
plenty of anime
I
out there.
watched the first 3 episodes. After that, it was fine. It was like a
Yeah.
normal anime. I mean,
Yeah.
it is. But maybe Attack on Titans will be good because we know there's an ending to that at this
There's
point.
just
So
blood and gore and all that. So
blood and gore. That's the way. That's the way we roll. Well, thank you everyone so much for tuning in. Hopefully we'll be back soon. Just keep an eye out,
that's right.
and we'll magically appear. I think it's like the louder you clap, then we can hear the claps and we'll come. I don't know. It's stupid. Or no, maybe it's like a special horn that they blow.
The Horn of
A
Gondor or
a
something. Yeah.
a ram horn for the goats.
Oh, there you
Wait,
go.
goats are rams or goat? No.
No, they're different. They're
So
different.
goats are different, but they have square eye or pupils, right? It's
They
like
do. They
square.
got those. They got those weird. Yeah.
All right. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Have a good